It's a gear tester here, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about the Mossberg Shockwave firearm. It's a 12 gauge firearm that has a 14-inch barrel but an overall length of 26 inches, which makes it a firearm rather than a short-barreled shotgun. And the first point I want to make about the Mossberg Shockwave is that it is a new configuration, but it's really not a new firearm category. You're looking at a Mossberg Cruiser Edition shotgun that is a older version. They're currently still making this. Okay, so it's also a Mossberg. This is a Mossberg 500. Comes with a pistol grip and an 18.5-inch barrel. So the difference between this gun and the Shockwave is the fact that the Shockwave has a 14-inch barrel and this has an 18.5-inch barrel. But the overall length of this gun, okay, if I measure it here from the back of the stock, or the pistol grip, to the barrel here is 27 inches. So we're talking about a difference of an inch compared to this firearm, which has been being manufactured for a number of years by Mossberg and similar firearms by Remington and other companies. That's a pistol gripped, okay, 12 gauge. So there's really very little difference between this and what is now being marketed as the Shockwave, except that the Shockwave has a 14-inch barrel but an overall length of 26 inches because they've added a longer grip here onto the firearm. It's not a new gun. As I watch a number, it's not a new category of firearm in essence. It's just a different way of getting to the 26 inches. One of the things that I'm noticing as people post videos of themselves with joy and happiness firing the Mossberg Shockwave is that people are trying to shoot the firearm too quickly. When you have a 12 gauge firearm that does not have a stock, you're not going to be able to shoot it as quickly as if you had a stock. You need to calm down. When I fire this gun, one of the things that I just have going through my mind is slow down, slow down, slow down. What I mean by that is when you go to fire this gun, okay, when you go to fire this gun, you're going to fire it, discharge the weapon, the gun's going to recoil back on you. You're going to allow it to recoil, you're going to bring it back online, pump it, and then be ready to shoot again. I see people wanting, in essence, to fire from the hip, just go, and or they're, you know, bringing it up, this firearm or the Shockwave, they're bringing the Shockwave up and they're firing it and almost hitting themselves in the face because they're trying to discharge the gun too quickly. You know, fire, boom, rack it, fire again. You don't have to, you can still shoot it quickly, but if you just calm down a little bit, you're going to increase your personal safety and increase the safety of those around you. Now, I personally prefer this Cruiser style version of the Mossberg pump guns to the Shockwave for a couple different reasons. Potentially I could have higher capacity if I wanted to add on an extension here. So this holds 6 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. I could get 7 in the tube, okay? So it would have higher capacity. In addition to that, I like the fact that I've got more barrel out there. It makes it harder for me to shoot myself in the hand. Another thing is people are trying to shoot the Shockwave fast, okay, as quickly as possible. They've got a strap on, and you better be using that strap, okay, because what I'm noticing is people are shooting it and potentially they're going to get their hand out there and shoot their hand. Because this gun is longer, I have a harder time getting my hand out past the barrel, especially if it's driven out. It would be harder to do that. That's one of the reasons I like it better. In addition to that, this gun has an 18.5-inch barrel, which is 4.5 inches longer than the Shockwave. What that means is that I could, at any time, convert this to a standard shotgun by taking off the pistol grip and adding a stock onto it. If you did that with the Shockwave, you would be in trouble if you hadn't gone through the ATF to turn it into a short-barreled shotgun. So, in my view, this is more adaptable, okay? It's sold just like the Shockwave. It's considered a firearm because of the pistol grip. Not necessarily a shotgun, but I would be able to convert this gun into a shotgun with a stock without any problem. That's my understanding. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not telling you to do it, but I do believe that this would be easier to turn into a shotgun with a stock than the Shockwave. So we've got a little bit higher capacity. We've got a longer barrel out here, although the overall length of the firearm is basically the same, which keeps me from potentially harming my hand. and I just think that it's a more versatile firearm, because you might get the Shockwave and it might be fun for a while. You might get a gun like this one and it might be fun for a while, and then you say, I hate this thing. This is just not as enjoyable or as pleasant to shoot as I thought it would be, and I'd like to turn it into a real shotgun, and you may have some trouble doing that. So I would just encourage you to purchase wisely. I personally, I bought this gun recently, and I would do it again. I like it. Very reliable, but I prefer it over the Shockwave. Again, it's not really a new firearm. The Shockwave is just a new way of getting into the 26 inches. And when you're firing these pistol grip only firearms that are chambered in 12 gauge, you need to do it slowly and intentionally. Thank you very much for your views and your subscriptions. If you like this video, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel for more quality video reviews on the topics of shooting, camping, and survival gear. This is the Gear Tester signing off.